As far as issues are concerned, millennials here tell me that they're concerned with climate change and a wide array of women's rights issues. But Trump supporters and, well, majority of the overall electorate indicate that they're concerned with the economy and national security. Reporting from Hofstra University, I'm Neil A. Carousso. Donald Trump announced Indiana Governor Mike Pence as his running mate, a few blocks from here actually, at the Hilton in Midtown. Now, Trump said that he liked Governor Pence's experience in lowering taxes and boosting the economy, said that Pence was his first choice. As Governor Pence put it, he's a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order.
Since January 2013, Indiana's labor force has increased by more than 186,000 jobs. Private sector job growth is up by more than 147,000 jobs since 2013. That's like very unusual. Governor Pence balanced the budget. Can you imagine a balanced budget? Our budget's so out of whack in this country, we don't know what we're doing. We're going to owe very soon $21 trillion. He balanced the budget. They don't know what that means. Produced a surplus and maintains a $2 billion reserve fund in the state of Indiana.
I know what all of America will soon know even better. These are good people. I know from firsthand experience that strong Republican leadership can bring about real change, just like we've seen in the Hoosier State. And secondly, because Hillary Clinton must never become President of the United States of America.
So a pretty good day today for the Trump campaign, and next up is the GOP convention in Cleveland, Ohio. From Trump Tower in Midtown, I'm Neil A. Carousso. Florida is going to be a deciding factor. Trump loses Florida, a lot of people are saying, well, it's going to be over unless Trump turns some blue states red. So here's the deal. It is going back and forth. And right now, I think we're getting some latest numbers, but obviously way too close to call. We may not hear about Florida for a long time. There are 29 electoral votes, and the latest from what I saw is that Trump was leading 49-48. But again, that's going back and forth and way too close there in Florida. Ohio's been looking good for Trump, but he's got to win. I mean, no Republican president has become president unless they win Ohio, so that is key as well. But the path for Donald Trump is this. Florida must win. Ohio, he has to win. Well, he either has to win North Carolina or turn a blue state like Minnesota or Michigan, which is very possible. He has to win the 2nd district in Maine. Again, they break up their congressional districts there. Ohio up 8 for Trump. So Trump has a good shot at winning Ohio. He's been looking good in the polls, if you believe the polls, and that's another question. We know Donald Trump has said the system is rigged against non-establishment candidates. Less than 24 hours here at the scene of a deadly crash. They killed an innocent pedestrian, and still there is debris and wreckage of this car that's sitting by the side of the road. And right now, family is searching for answers.
I listed in 1988, March 15, 1988. You always had that in the back of your mind for you was going to be the next one to be called up. It was never that frightening for me to go, because I was always entitled to serve my country. You have to do things right because people's lives depended on you.
Rance Mangum proudly served his country for 5.5 years, but when he returned to the United States in 1992 from his tour in Germany, he was homeless, moving in with his grandmother.
This is my grandmother I'm most proud of, you know.
That's proud
of. She took me in when I was from my mother when I was 3 years old. So she's been my primary person in my life. You know, she
What
makes
year is that?
I'm sorry?
What year is that?
This was 5 years ago.
Okay.
So, my mouth is a little bit tidy right now, but
yeah.
She died 4 years ago. Right at, matter of fact, a couple of months after this picture.
She was your best friend?
Well, she made sure that she was one of them. Make sure that I had my principles and know right from wrong. My grandmother says you have to help others to help yourself.
Inspired by his grandmother, Rance dedicated himself to a life of service. 5.5 years in the military, 14 years as a firefighter, upwards of 30 years in various medical roles, including an EMT, EKG tech, and a certified nursing assistant in private duty in Florida. There are more than 500,000 immigrants on Long Island, the site of the first presidential debate. 98,000 of those immigrants are illegal. This according to the Fiscal Policy Institute, a 25-year-old independent nonpartisan nonprofit research and education organization with the mission to improve the economic and social conditions of all New Yorkers.
You know, if you come from Guatemala or El Salvador and make it to a family like that, that is the American dream.
David Disregard-Kallick is the director of immigration research at FPI. His data indicates 14% of Long Island immigrants come from El Salvador, the largest single group. And immigration, Kallick concludes, mostly benefits the overall economy, with immigration labor making up 20% of Long Island's economic output.
People are choosing to come here, and I think they are doing something that's certainly good for them. But it does seem to me that it's clear when you look from a sort of wider perspective, it's good for the overall economy of Long Island as well.
While there is an upside to the overall economy, American workers are being hurt on a micro level, having to compete with illegal immigrants.
It does really impact everyone. I think it is important for everyone to truly understand what's really going on.
Eventually, it does put a strain on the economy. I think you can overpopulate certain schools where other children could become disadvantaged. And I think in the workforce, I think when you have more bodies, then yes, it could affect, your average Joe trying to get a job.
Meanwhile, millennials are fleeing Long Island, a long-term trend due to the high cost of living expense and higher-level, more skilled jobs elsewhere.
Competition is kind of, that's life. It's all how it is, and you just got to really focus on that, and that I use more of a motivating factor.
Very little labor regulation, very little enforcement, and so people are able to pay lower wages is part of the problem. I would say as much of that, just as big of a problem is that employers are able to pay people without paying workers' compensation, without paying unemployment insurance, without sort of being part of the regular system.
For certified fitness trainer and expert Chris Ryan, exercise is a way of life. His motto is simple: be the best you.
It's not about looking like the people on the magazines or looking like the people on TV. It's about looking your best, feeling your best, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
An interesting adage from a fitness model who has been featured on the cover of magazines like GQ, Men's Health, Men's Fitness, and Cosmopolitan. Ryan, now 36 years old, mostly trains businessmen and women with strict schedules, proving that anyone can make time for one's health.
It's about investing in your body the same way that you invest in your 401ks. Consistency matters. Like, you pay whatever it is into your retirement fund every year, and that's the way it is since you're in your 20s, right? So the same thing with your fitness.
On a turf pitch 30 miles east of New York City, an All-American soccer star prepares for her pro career.
I just want to go as far as I can with Sky Blue, obviously, because they're my first team that have ever had faith in me to go professionally and get myself better, make myself better, and just get on the field and show them what I can do.
England native Leah Galton joined Sky Blue FC, a professional team part of the National Women's Soccer League, which has produced national soccer icons and 2015 United States World Cup champions Alex Morgan, Carly Lloyd, and Abby Wambach.
I just want to go as far as I can with Sky Blue. I want to try help them win the league.
Drafted 13th overall in the second round of the 2016 college NWSL draft, the Hofstra University forward became just the second English footballer to be drafted by the American League. The first, Rachel Daly from St. John's in Queens, just 7 picks ahead of Galton.